video. Today I'm going to be talking about things that you should know before moving to the Netherlands. So let's get started. So first of all, I would like to do a disclaimer. Of course, what I'm going to be saying is completely subjective to my opinion. I was living there for 3 years. I was actually living in the south of the Netherlands, so I guess some things might vary if you move more to the middle or to the north, because I believe the north is the more Dutch part of the Netherlands, and the south, because it's influenced by Germany and Belgium, it could be a little bit of a mix, more international or a bit different. The first thing I would like to talk about is the weather. As a foreigner myself from Southern Europe, I thought that it was gonna be raining, super cold, even snowing. I was expecting to have, but most of all, a lot of rain. And after living there for 3 years, I realized that it doesn't rain that much, but the skies are great a huge amount of the year. So that was something for me that I struggle a lot with, because I'm used to having sun, even if it's winter time, to have sun shining and getting that vitamin D in my body. Another thing that I noticed the first time I moved there as well is that everyone speaks English in all the situations. If you go to a supermarket, they speak to you in English. They'll speak to you on the train, on the bus, everywhere you go, you are able to communicate back and forth with them, which is super nice. On the contrary, I would like to advise you, if you're moving to the Netherlands, to take a basic Dutch course before or while you are there, so you are at least able to have basic conversations when you are doing these things, like going to supermarkets, to food markets, shops, restaurants, because it will make your life easier, and they will also appreciate a lot you're making the effort to speak their language. On the flip side, I would say that the food quality or the food variety isn't the greatest. As I said, coming from the south of Europe, I'm used to having a lot of vegetables, fruits, everything super fresh, and of course, when I went to the supermarket, they have a huge variety of food, but to me personally, it was a bit smaller and narrower to what I'm used to back home. So I did miss a lot not having that many variety and options in the market. So that's something that if you're coming from a country from the south of Europe, you're gonna maybe see this difference. Going back to Dutch people and their personalities and how well they speak English, I can also say that they are really open-minded people. They're always willing to know more about you, and they're super friendly in general. I think like the way they are raised is in a way that they become really open and curious about who you are and what you do in your culture. I feel like that's something that is really enriching for them to do, because it allows them to learn from you as well as you learning from them and their culture. Something that is super known by everyone is that the main way of transportation they use is a bike. There are so many bikes all over the Netherlands. In Amsterdam there are plenty of, but this transports and extrapolates to all over the Netherlands. And for me, that was one of the pluses living in the Netherlands, that I was able to go by bike everywhere. It's true that when it's raining and cold, it's not ideal because you're getting wet. But personally, after 3 years there, you get used to going to places with your hair completely soaked, your pants wet, everything wet, and you're still fine because everyone around you is exactly the same as you are. Continuing with transportation methods, there's also, because it's such a small country, a train that crosses basically and goes all over the Netherlands. There are 2 different trains, one that is short distance and one that is longer distance. The one that I took the most, because I was all the way in the south, was the long distance train, and as well, it's a train that is pretty practical, but on the downside, I experienced multiple times that they have these issues that coming up suddenly, that you cannot take the train, and this train ends at this point, that you have to get off. And to me, as a foreigner and not being someone that has a house or family all over the country, was something that I actually was a bit scared of, because at some points you had to get off the train in the middle of nowhere and you had no clue what to do and where to go. Sometimes there were buses, but sometimes they were just in the middle of nowhere. So it's like a bit of a, it's good because you can travel pretty fast, but it's not really reliable. And for me, after being there for 3 years and traveling kind of often, I experienced it so many times, and so did my friends. So in the end, it's like, for me, that's something that I would love to see that improves, because it's a pity. Another thing that I didn't know when I went there is that students had fraternities and sororities, or even a combination of girls and guys all together. I was really shocked, but in a funny way, because I was like, wow, that's really cool. And I went to a few parties and it was actually super fun. The downside is that not being Dutch, it was super hard to understand the language and try to be a part of all of that, since they were all Dutch people. And it was a lot of alcohol involved and a lot of crazy things going on over there too. But I thought it was something really unique to the country that I have never ever heard of around Europe. Lastly, I would like to give you a tip, and it's that if you come from a country that is a bit warmer than the Netherlands, I advise you not to do the mistake that I did. That I was layering so many clothes over and over and over, that at some point, because it was so cold outside and it was so warm inside, I was getting sick in and out throughout the months. And at some point I was like, okay, no, I'm gonna stop doing this. I'm gonna start wearing the clothes that I need, but I'm not gonna overdo it because it's making me feel sicker. So it's not helping anyone. From that moment onwards, I didn't get sick more than a few times. Of course, it's impossible not to get sick. I'm not a superhero. But that was, I think, something that is good to know from someone that comes from a maybe warmer country, or someone that is always really cold as I am. So those are the things that I had in my mind that I thought it would be interesting to share with you, in case you are thinking or considering or already know they're going to be moving to the Netherlands. And good luck with your experience. I hope that you have a blast, and don't forget to subscribe over here, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!